So it's now upon us, the sixth and final heat for Junior Rotax here for the second round of the season. Let's have a look at the starting grid for race 20 of the meeting. Junior Rotax Heat 6, Groups B versus C. So on the front row, it will be Kai Rilets from Belgium and Italy's Alberto Kiko Fracassi. Farin Mega in the 276 from Germany, and Denmark's Marius Ros in the 228 round out the top two rows. Ethan Jeff Hall will be lining up alongside Hungary's Aaron Krebsik, who was promptly disqualified from his earlier on today, but will start on the outside of row number 3. Nick Gerhards and Daniel Sugar, that's row 4. And then we have Magnus Pedersen and David Outlander rounding out the top 10 positions in this grid. After that, it's Gazi Motnikar, Kasper Schomans, Guy Albag, Nick Trobek, Piotr Borowicz from Poland, Chloe Chong, Germany's Austin Lee, and Belgium's Vic Stevens. So, could Kai Rilets, who didn't get pole position yesterday in time qualifying, that dubious honour fell to Thomas Strauver from Belgium. Could Rilets get 3 for 3 this afternoon and put himself at the head of the table for intermediate classification after this encounter? Well, we'll find out very, very soon as to what will happen in the next few moments, because we have around about 8 minutes of action here for this. So it is Rilets, Fracassi, Mega, Rose, Jeff Hall, Krebsik, Gerhards, Sugar, Pedersen and Outlander. That is your top 10. Out of the final corner they come. Into the tram lines we go. Are we ready? Are we steady? Well, it has been given a green light to go racing. And Rilets has already got his way into the... Well, he's kept himself up front along with Farin Mega, who has gotten ahead into second position. Looks like Alberto Kiko Fracassi ended up in fourth position. As a little bit further down the order, there are people nearly going too wide into the turn 5 left-hand hairpin. With 6.5 minutes to go, you don't want to go all guns blazing earlier on, because your energy levels would dissipate over the course of the race. But it looks like Kasper Schomans has made a move past David Outlander, who started at the in 10th position. And now, the young Polish driver, based in the United Kingdom, now finds himself in 14th position, as now they're all squabbling over the same bit of tarmac. And Kasper Schomans closing in on Alberto Kiko Fracassi, who has dropped like a proverbial stone right down the order. Started from second, now in 9th place, amongst other drivers that have also dropped down the order. Gazi Motnikar got a really difficult start, but then there's the battle here for 4th, 5th and 6th position. Aaron Krebsik, Marius Ros, and also looks to be Nick Gerhards from SP Motorsport. So that's the battle for 4th position. As just behind, there's a ding-dong battle being led by Kasper Schomans, and Schomans doing a really good job at the moment. And you can see one of the... That's the Borowicz car, the 255 from Ernst Racing, running in the Daniel Ricciardo chassis. You can then see how quickly these drivers are having to move in terms of positioning themselves on the circuit. But Kai Rilets has already started stretching a gap away over Farin Mega. And Rilets has a gap of nearly 0.6 of a second after just 2 minutes. Maybe make that closer and closer to a second, as up the inside goes Aaron Krebsik, up the inside of Marius Ros to now take what is 4th position. Gazi Motnikar has dropped behind Austin Lee, who finds himself in 16th position, having started 17th on the road. But the drivers really starting to push, and a lot of drivers now having to do their level best. Austin Lee running in the 53.2s and is quite a considerable amount quicker than the likes of Chloe Chong by nearly 0.2. Borowicz in the 245 did a 54.1, and Austin Lee has just gone 52.4. He's got past Borowicz, he's got past Chong, and he's got past Motnikar. So Austin Lee, who got 11th in the previous race, but through a front-fairing penalty post-race, dropped the youngster based out of Germany down into 15th. But there are still battles to be waged, wars to be won, and there is a little war going on here between Aaron Krepsik and Marius Rose, and that is for 4th position. Nick Gerhard's being closed in on by Magnus Pedersen. So 2 drivers from RS competition, run by Robert Schlunsen, running at the top 7 positions. Guy Albag has also stealthily crawled his way up the order, up to 9th position from 13th, and is behind Alberto Kiko Fracassi. But Krepsik still ahead of Marius Rose. There was a bit of a 3-way brawl there, and right in the middle of that was the 217 of Dan Holland Racing's Guy Albag. So it was Daniel Sugar going one side. And who was the other driver? That could have been maybe David Outleitner, I think, that might have tried to get past. But you can see there the drivers on your screens pushing like absolute craziness. Because now 2 minutes and 40 still to go. Kai Hillitz has extended a lead over Foreign Mega with 2 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock, remaining to close to 1.3 seconds. Ethan Jeff Hall rounds out the top 3. Here's the battle between Krepsik and Hors. There's Nick Gerhards and Magnus Pedersen. They are battling away over 6th and 7th, but looking at their lap times, Magnus Pedersen out of the quartet from 4th to 7th looks to be the quickest of them by probably the best part of over 1/10 of a second. And more drivers moving their way up the field. Daniel Sugar getting past Guy Albag and David Outleitner. Up into 9th goes the Hungarian from KSB Racing, running in the 52 zeros. Kai Hillitz has just been putting the hammer down. He's just literally scarpered off into the distance. He's not looking back. He's just looking forward and not worrying about where everyone else is. Might maybe say the likes of Farin Mega, Ethan Jeff Hall. He'll be concentrating on his race, and that is the most important thing you can do in European competition like this, where the drivers are at the peak of their powers, and they've got to do everything right. They can't put a stone wrong. They can't leave any stone unturned. And that is what Kai Hillitz is doing, and this will put him into good stead for the finals tomorrow. And has a lead of 1.653 seconds over teammate at JJ Racing, Germany's Farin Mega. So more positions gained. Austin Lee past Nick Trobeck. Up into 13th goes the Kartschmi.de driver in the 223. He ran with the 207 last year in juniors, but is about just under 1/10.5 behind Guy Albag from Israel. So the German could have an opportunity maybe to get past, and that looks to have happened. So Austin Lee has got past and has gapped Guy Albag by the best parts of probably 7/10. That was a 7/10 of a second gap that swung from nearly 1/10 and a second behind the Israeli. But now Austin Lee is over half a second up the road and is about 1.6 seconds behind Kasper Schomans. But we have less than 30 seconds of this race remaining. This will conclude the action for Junior Rotax for Heat Stay. And then obviously when everything has been confirmed, so all results are provisional until the subsequent conclusion of any judicial and technical matters decided through scrutineering and also through through race control and the stewards. And there is an interesting battle now, because that is going to be Aaron Krepsik, Marius Rose and Magnus Pedersen. Alberto Kiko Fracassi actually ahead of Nick Gerhardt, and now goes up the inside of Magnus Pedersen to now take the position. So that's 7th for the Italian. Timer has hit 0 here for Junior Rotax. Heat 6, groups B and C, and Kai Hillitz has literally cantered home at a snail's pace as Nick Gerhardt's trying to go side by side with Alberto Kiko Fracassi in the 272. And this time the Dutch driver gets up the inside, gets the job done on the penultimate lap of this race. But very shortly, Hillitz will take the last lap board and has put in the fastest lap of anybody, a 51.191. And there we go, quicker again, 51.174 for the Belgian. And his gap now to Farin Mega is 2.7 seconds. So a real good turn of performance. Ethan Jeff Hall running in the top 3, having started in 5th position. So the top 3 actually literally are from the right-hand side of the grid, from the pole position side, as there is Krepsik. And he's going toe-to-toe with Ethan Jeff Hall. And there is Marius Rose. So the battle for 3rd position heating up. Marius Rose looking up the inside of Krepsik, who tries to go up the inside of Jeff Hall. And gets the position done, but has a bit of a tangle with Marius Rose. Going through into the double left before the right-hand hairpin. Ethan Jeff Hall, if he gets a good run coming out of the final corner, could get one up on that particular driver. But it's a true Saturday afternoon strut. Well, hang on a second. Now, was that me, or was Kai Rielitz? Did he incur a technical problem coming across the line, or did he just let... It looks like Farin Mega was let through, so Farin Mega takes 1st position. That's a sign of good teammates working together there. So, so Farin Mega, I think Kai Rielitz knew that, well, hang on a second, 2 firsts and a 2nd, that puts me pretty much at the top. So, a bit of conservation effort there from Kai Rielitz, I believe. So, Farin Mega takes his first heat victory of the weekend, his only heat victory of the weekend, ahead of Kai Rielitz from Belgium in the 274 by 2.5 tenths of a second. 4th place goes to Aaron Krepsik, who started in 6th position, finished in 3rd, just fractionally ahead of Ethan Jeff Hall. Then it was Denmark's Marius Rose, who started 4th. Finished in 5th ahead of Magnus Pedersen, Alberto Kiko Fracassi, Nick Gerhards, Daniel Sugar, David Outdentner, who rounded out the top 10, Kasper Schormans, Guy Olbag, Austin Lee, Nick Trobeck, Gazi Motlika, Piotr Borowicz, Chloe Chong, and Vic Stevens.